conversation will rule the nation on face-to-face basis when we blast off. It's real on the dance floor, on the turf of the court. Yeah, we here for the sport, so take your mask off so I can hear your ass talk. Let me hear you explain. Hold the thoughts on your brain. Is your ass smart? Spit facts and real talk. I need that shit from the street that make you think real deep and take a long walk. This podcast is hella lit with my man J Defense and Schizo Blizzard.
What it do, family? Welcome back. Mask Uncovered Podcast. You know what it is, man. You see who it is.
It's your boy Hollywood Skiz. Go ahead. I got something to say, but you know.
J Defense in the house, man. Hit us up on all platforms. Mask Uncovered Podcast, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also, we got some guests in the house.
Sonia.
J Boston, aka Don Pino. Okay.
And who that is, we about to play a little something for y'all, man.
This right here, this is live off my newest project, man, False Idols. Yeah. This is Never See Parole featuring Adelia, man. Shout out Miss Adelia, she's dope, man.
J Boston.
What's the name of it?
Never See Parole.
Never See Parole.
Let's get it. Yo, this is for my niggas that'll never see parole. This is for my niggas that'll never see parole. Eating noodles on Chipotle, baby, getting old. But you reap what you sow, you gotta let it go. This is for my niggas that'll never see parole. This is for my niggas that'll never see parole. Never let them steal your soul, you gotta keep your glow. We still screaming kumbaya, let my people go. My cousin got a second, I be telling them he coming home. He told me if it's up to the board, they never let him go. He got D report after D report, let me keep it short. His hopes is always down, I told him never let him reach the fort. So I speak support, gotta make his ego soar. Read books about places that you ain't never seen before. They say the worst thing a man can waste is his time. I think the worst thing you can waste is your mind. Location is prime, you gotta find the motivation inside. It's easy to say when you ain't facing that time. It's honey buns and peanut butter when he's making a pie. Shit, he's trying to make it out, I'm trying to make it alive. Boss, this is for my niggas that'll never see parole.
We's with a couple of niggas, I'm big.
Niggas that'll never see parole. Eating noodles on Chipotle, baby, getting old. But you reap what you sow.
Shorty went crazy next verse.
This is for my niggas that'll never see parole. This is for my niggas that'll never see parole. Never let them steal your soul, you gotta keep your glow. We still screaming.
I know a lot of niggas. This song means something too, niggas. Shit, they ain't never coming home.
Yo, listen, man, like definitely y'all gotta understand, tonight ain't this one, but y'all definitely gonna see the podcast come on, man. J Boston, music's out on all platforms, man. We gonna get into what he do, how he do it. But tonight, man, we gonna get into some serious topics. But before we do that, we gonna start our podcast off with the drink of the Dizzy.
You know it. Follow me to the motherfucking bar. Some new shit for y'all. New original. Hollywood Skiz. Fucking with this anger management, man. Like I said, all these drinks original, man. I come up with them myself, put my own thoughts into it. So this is what we call, y'all see the fireball. I know a lot of niggas like, man, I ain't fucking with Skiz tonight. But fuck with me tonight.
Fuck with it, I had
Fuck
some.
with the fireball. Y'all see it, right? It's in that Angry Orchard. Angry Orchard, green apple. Gotta be green apple.
Okay, Skiz, fuck it up, Skiz, okay. I ain't never seen that.
What you say? Somebody in the crowd said something? Who that? Niggas heckling? Comedian too. I got a heckle out there. What's going on, nigga?
You got a heckle,
everybody,
But like I was about to say, we need a lot more subscribers too, man. You know what I'm saying? We get a lot of views. But come on, man, subscribe. It don't take much to subscribe.
Hit that subscribe button, man.
Tell them.
Hit that subscribe button, man.
Anger management, that's the new one for this week.
That's fire.
You know it.
That's
Thank
fire.
you, Cuzzo.
I'm gonna tell your auntie, all of them, man, everybody to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, man. Like, I know everybody got somebody that got a cell phone, man. Hit that YouTube page, man. Subscribe and like the channel, man. Like we always do, man. Like we do that drink of the day, man. But obviously we got some people in the house tonight, man. Tonight we're gonna get into a deep topic, man. Tonight we're gonna talk about domestic violence. Being a part of it, seeing it, growing up around it, whatever it entails. We're gonna start off with Jay Boston. He's got a story to tell and things of what transpired in his life and what he's doing since that's transpired.
Hey yo, it's Jay Boston, rapper, father, entrepreneur, founder of Rap Against DV and the Mimi movement, which we try to reach out. The Rap Against DV, we use the podcast to use music to spread awareness in DV, and then with the Mimi movement, we just spreading awareness with my story. As everybody know, I lost my sister to DV in 2019, Jamia Madry, aka Mimi. So since I lost her, I've been my passion was help change other lives and not try to see this happen again. So that's my passion. So we telling our story, schools, jobs, because it happens in the job work field.
Yep.
We just want to go everywhere and spread our story, you know what I'm saying? So just to spread awareness. So that's my name. And check the website out, mimimovement.org, for more information on, we doing toy drives for Christmas. We doing some reach out. We do young men reach out where we do teens support systems where we go out and talk about relationships with teens and how, talk about toxic relationships. Young boys and girls, try to show boys how to, deal with denial, rejection, first love, dealing with first love when you lose your first love, and just females, just kind of have the topic we're going today with females, the young females now putting their hands on men too. You know what I'm saying? It goes both ways. So that's my story. I'm Jay Boston. Check me out.
So this organization is so. A lot of these victims don't have to go to the police, is what you're saying. You want an organization right there in the community, so they don't have to get anybody in jail. Just someone who can give them advice, or maybe even stop the abuse. So
exactly. So what we're doing is we also, my mother, she started this part of like advocacy where we worked as advocates with maybe women in domestic
shout out to my sister Maria.
Yep. She so if anybody ever females in a situation where somebody just talk to, with help with resources or just just another woman that been through it, to go through it. We have a bunch of advocates online that we starting to work with, family members and just people who just been through it. They're not professionals, they're not nothing like that, but they're just people who've been through it. And then another part is that in our culture, we come from the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's why I did Rap Against DV. We come from the hood. In our culture, females are kind of scared sometimes to go to the police and to tell on a black man. Sometimes they feel like they snitches or shit like that. And we try to change the culture where female, you're a citizen. You know what I'm saying? You're not no gangster nigga out here in the streets riding and shooting niggas. So you're a citizen. So you can go to the police if a man's hitting you or anything. You're not wrong for that. So I know sometimes a female look like I'm putting another brother in jail. And that's be the situation. They look like they don't want to put another brother in jail, but if your life's on the line, sweetheart, sometimes you just gotta, you gotta take care of your own and yours,
Brother put himself in jail.
Exactly.
That's right.
He took it to himself.
Because if it's consistently happening, he has a problem himself. So don't make it your problem, baby. It's nothing you've done. It's he has a problem, or he's just a straight out coward. You know what I mean? And a lot of us in the community have to stop hiding it, as all of us have friends who've beat their women, and we're like, yeah, whatever, cause come on, let's go back to the party or whatever. So it's a community problem, and I think we all have a part in solving it, because it's bigger than what we think out here. It's just we just don't hear it as much.
It's time to expose it, like you said. It's time to speak up, man. Like
snitches get exposed.
Yeah, exactly. So why not, dudes who beat women? That's coward shit too. So it's just like the same thing.
There you go.
That's the top coward.
It's like dudes nowadays, they'll sit back. I seen a few videos on World Star. The dudes would sit back and record another man hitting a woman. That's just bugged out to me. Like, you a man watching another man hit a female, you're recording it, bro.
This is bad.
That's crazy. Like, that's off rep. Like, what? I'm throwing my phone down. I'm crushing you for even putting your hands on her.
Right.
That's the type of shit that's going on nowadays. Even just with this new social media shit. Niggas is putting shit online, being woman. Like, that's just cool. That was never cool in my day or your day.
Right. It was never cool. Just I guess it's some action. Stop the talking, and I guess we gotta start more action because it's a lot of talk shows talk about it, but it's still going on. So there has to be something more that we can do.
And before we do move on, we got her here. Let's hear her story. Why she here? I'm interested too.
I was a victim of domestic violence several times. Like could have died, but I'm a survivor. I'm a goddess on that. So, I'm not gonna lie. At one point in time, I was an abuser. And it stems and it goes for both ways for men and for women. I got daddy issues, so it'd be like, oh, no, he didn't mean it. One time, my eye blacked, my teeth knocked out. He didn't mean it. Then it's like, hold up. Yeah, he meant it. He means it every time. So mine got to the point where I went to every organization. I'm an advocate. I live in Newton. I live in there's a place called Second Step, but I definitely want to be a part of your organization. Absolutely advocate. Call me anytime. And like I said, it goes both ways. I see myself at one point in time getting angry and talking real reckless. I could talk real reckless, but then I found myself putting my hands on them. And I'm like, this is not me. And I'm not the first one to say I do therapy. You have to talk about it.
I don't know, you look like you beat a few niggas up.
Yeah, you probably know them.
Oh shit, here
I'm
we
sure
go.
you won't name names, but I'm sure I can throw them out there to you.
We'll unmask these motherfuckers and shit.
And
Mask uncovered. Mask uncovered.
Because it's not as important to the idea, but like, we look at, unfortunately, like your people is not here to speak to what's transpired. What was it that showed you a way out? How did you get out of that domestic violence situation?
I looked at my kids. I looked at, I had left him alone. I was doing my own thing. And working 2 jobs, came home, and he was hiding in the bathtub at my house. Beat me down for 2 days and left me there. And his mother was down with it. His mother was straight down with it. I got out of that when I said enough was enough. I was like Nelly from Color Purple. Now, you put your hands on me again, and I gotta take you out. Cause who's gonna raise my kids? Who's gonna look after my children more than me? And I think about it, I have sons. Do I want my sons to see me letting this man beat me or seeing me bruised up and him back in my bed? Nah, I can't.
But the people that's actually watching, like, instead of being abstract, which I know is probably troubling to even go back to think like that, or what transpired with you, what were the steps? Did you have an aunt? Did you have a cousin? Did you have a program? Like, what was
nobody?
So to get out of that was what? Finally, I called the police.
I called the police, and I had to leave my home in the middle of the night with my kids and go to a scatter site somewhere where nobody knew me, and leave everything that I had behind.
Now, what is a scatter site?
A scatter site is
for people that don't
an
know.
apartment.
Okay.
There's some apartments for women of DV, families for DV. They're not as nice as they should be, but it's somewhere for you to go where you be safe. You don't have to pay. You stay there for 2.5 years, save your money, raise your. But me, I was out of there in 8 months.
How did you find out about the scatter site?
Let me tell you, because before that, I was an advocate. I've always worked in human services. So I knew Jane Doe. I went on Jane Doe. Jane Doe gave me an advocate to talk to. I went on SafeLink and.
And these are websites?
These are websites,
okay.
And Jane Doe is, you can call in the National Domestic Violence.
Hotline,
Yeah, you can call that hotline too. But Second Step, which is out of Newton, has in Rosie's Place, and they all have hotlines. Boston has its own, and I live in Newton. Boston has its own hotline for DV victims.
Okay.
It has its own hotline. So
Yeah, ladies.
do not be afraid to call. Men too, do not be afraid to call.
The niggas be scared to no, it's for everybody. Yeah, I'm just bullshitting.
No, it's hard.
Yeah, you're right.
definitely like it was hard to interject.
It was hard for me to leave and everything that I knew in the middle of the night and my kids, have them scared and move somewhere in Massachusetts where I had nothing. And the whole thing is, if you got a family support, if you got a mother or somebody that's there for you, talk to them. Do not hide. Don't be ashamed, because I didn't have any family support. And I got a mother and 3 sisters. I did it by myself. And it made me stronger. It made me want to talk to women. I keep a smile on my face because I've been blessed. And because I could have died. He left me to die.
Let me ask you a question. You said that you didn't have support. And the reason why I'm asking this question, because I want to bring it back to Jay Boston in 2 seconds too. Because we've spoken off camera, what have you, and maybe you might want to dwell on that side, you know, from what transpired with your family. But did you bring it to family members? Like,
Yes.
hey, I'm going through certain stuff. And what was their response? Was it, hey, go back to them, or hey, I don't have a couch for you? Like, just.
With my family, which is a huge family, it was, oh, you know he's on drugs. Okay, that's even worse. Oh, that's your son's father. Okay, that's even worse. And then it just became, all of a sudden, I didn't care about it. I was like in a box. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I isolated myself.
Wow.
I didn't want to, and I'm gonna keep it really honest. My mother was like, don't call me if he hits you again.
Wow.
So he punched me in the eye, black in my eye, and he was at her house, and she was okay with that. She was like, okay. Like, to this day, she still speaks to him. But, you know, my support came, and I'm gonna keep it real, my support came from people that didn't even know me. That didn't even have a clue, but just seeing that I was hurt, I was broken at that time. My self-esteem was so low, I was at the bottom of the barrel. But,
Do you mind expounding on like what you feel might have transpired with your peoples? Just, you know, if you're willing, you know.
Yeah, I mean, what you mean transpire, like the whole situation?
Like, yeah, well, but also how you feel about if you felt she reached out to people in the family,
So
and
like,
if she didn't reach out to people in the family, probably why you would think that she did not.
I got you. I'm gonna piggyback kind of off of what she said. Like, I'm gonna go off the mother role first of all. Like she said, you know, you said something about the mother first. Though you said before you said it was your mom, you said it was something about his
mom.
Yeah,
His mom was like down with the whole thing.
So basically, and my sister's situation was the same situation, kind of similar, where his mother was involved in the situation and nobody else knew. My sister, you know, she was with a man for 8 months. Wasn't even with him a long time, so I didn't even get the chance to.
He wasn't a man.
He was, yeah, exactly, some coward, some bitch ass nigga. She went for 8 months, so that wasn't enough time for me to get to know him, you know what I'm saying, or my family to get to know him, to even know what was going on. 8 months, y'all know, it's not nothing. It's not even a year. So I only met him twice. I met him one time in passing, on some just passing. Then I met him one time at a cookout one time before my sister passed. And my sister was a young firecracker. She was from Roxbury. She didn't take no shit. She was messing with some dude, like I said, for 8 months. He was younger. She was 27 at the time. He was 25. This was 2019. And, you know, she found a girl at his house a week before, at his father's house with him. So she was about to break up with him that weekend. The day that he came to her house, she was about to break up with him. So he came up with some crazy ass excuse like, yo, oh, my cousin got a game. She was living in Framingham. He's like, yo, my cousin goes to Framingham State. He got a game tomorrow. I didn't see you in a week. You know, I know you're mad at me. Can I come over? Long story short, she let him over. Come over. She was at work all day. She worked a double that day. Came off of work at like 11. And he was sitting in her house the whole time, going through all her old shit, all her old jail letters and shit like that. And I guess he was just mad and jealous the whole night. And he knew that she was about to leave him. You know what I'm saying? He knew that she was about to leave him because she just found the girl that week and she was acting funny that whole week. And so the police even told us in the messages, he coerced her to let him come over.
Premeditated.
Yeah, so he let her come. She let him come over, and then she called me at 11:30 that night, asked for my engineer for my studio's number. I'm like, he's a white guy. I'm like, it's 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, it's too late to call. She called me at 11:30. She called me again at 11:31. She called me again at 11:37. 6 minutes later, at 11:37, like, yo, send the number. I felt like that time she was trying to send me a message that she was in trouble, and I didn't catch it.
Wow.
I didn't catch it, and at the time I was getting ready to go out. So I'm like, I'll send you the number. I think at that time she wanted me to text her so she could probably be like, yo, I'm in trouble. You know, this is what's going on. But me, at the time, I'm so busy in my life, I didn't catch the sign. You know what I'm saying? I didn't understand. I didn't even know, again, she was to do 8 months. I didn't even know he was doing that to her 8 months. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know that was possible. So I didn't think nothing of it. I'm just like, I'll send you the number, Jameer. I didn't think nothing of it. I was gonna send the number in the morning, because I'm like, I don't want to send it now, because I know my sister, she's very aggressive. She wants the number, she gonna call him tonight, so I'm like, this guy, I don't want her to call him 11:30 at night, you know, anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna send it in the morning. So I didn't even contact her back. And sure enough, come to find out, that was Sunday. We didn't hear from her. Monday, my mom had a meeting in Framingham, housing meeting. So she was already going out there anyway to go meet with housing. She goes out there to meet with housing. On her way leaving, she goes, check my sister's crib. My sister's car's out front, frost all over the window, car still there, go to the crib, hear the TV inside, hear the TV still warm. She's like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? She knew something was wrong right there. She called me. The day she called me, I'm working at a fucking place for kids, JRC. I'm working with kids, and the same day, like 1 o'clock, the kids know I'm like a 90s dude, you know what I'm saying? They know I play like I like to play like dope music, like Lauren Hill for the young ladies at the program at this time. So at the time, my sister's favorite song was Love Is Blind by Eve.
Oh, Love Is Blind.
So I played it for them literally at the like 1 o'clock that day. That Monday, we found out she was dead. So I felt like that was her spirit, no bullshit telling me that she was like, you know, she was somewhere else. And so I played that song for them little girls at 1 o'clock that evening, that day, afternoon. 4 o'clock, my mother called me while I was at work, like, yo, your sister's not answering. I'm here at her house, but she's not answering her phone. From there, come to find out, you know, she called the police. Police came, called management. Management went in there. They found my sister. She was dead, bro. Pool of blood, laying on the bottom of her bed. He got stabbed her in the bed. She tried to fight, made it out the bed, and died on the floor. You know what I'm saying? And you know, that shit was tough, man. That shit was the toughest thing ever. Losing a sibling is probably like the worst motherfucking pain a nigga had, especially seeing the birth and the death. That's probably like the worst things a nigga could go through. You know what I'm saying? Seeing somebody come and go like that.
And what's happening with this dude right now? Like, is he trying to play crazy or some shit?
Yeah,
so
right now he's in Bridgewater. He's been in Bridgewater for 2.5 years. He's basically had a prior. Y'all know we from the hood. We all got mental health little situations and problems.
Yeah.
So what he learned the game a long time ago. He had a prior already minor situation, and so now since he's in this situation, you know, all that old situations come up, and so his defense lawyer is using that. But in his defense, you can't really use it because he cut the bracelet off. He was on the GPS bracelet at the time.
At the time of the incident?
The nigga was on the GPS bracelet for pulling the gun on a cop at his house. So the nigga was already on the GPS bracelet, and then from there just fucking, I shit just went blank real quick because so much shit going on in my mind right now. But yeah, he was on the GPS bracelet, and the nigga still, you know, he cut it off. That's what I was going. He cut it off. Called a cab, threw his phone off, got to his mother's house, took his clothes off, changed those. So there's no way you could talk about insanity, because when you're insane, you don't do them. You know what you're doing. At the time, you knew what he was doing. When you're insane, you don't know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You fuck around, sit there and play in the blood type shit. You don't sit there.
Yeah, you had no foresight to change clothes.
So they saying that it's a hard fight for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, whatever. Let's play whatever. How you do it?
There you go. Without saying, yeah, whatever. Come home if you want to.
What I want everybody to know and realize, obviously, check on your peoples, man, things like that. This is Mask and Cover Podcast, but the dynamic of what you're seeing, you know, like we're sitting at the table, is for someone that went through it, then to be here today to talk about it, versus someone that's no longer here.
And shit, we put this coward name out there too. What the fuck? It's masculine cover. What the fuck's his name again?
He's up there in Bridgewater. His name's Chris McCoy.
Yeah, fuck out of here, nigga. You don't get no immunity. Shit.
All them McCoys, fuck all.
Coward, nigga. Fuck. The case already over, nigga. Fuck. He's a clown.
Ain't over. Yeah, ain't a start. Ain't a start yet. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, nigga, you heard it, nigga. Fuck, ain't nobody exposed him. His name's in the papers, nigga.
Yeah,
What the fuck?
yeah,
so we
yeah,
ain't doing
yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
He's in the
It's out
fucking
there.
papers, magazine. Fuck.
But
Hold on, what's that? Nah.
no.
You put everybody out this bitch, nigga. I don't know why you trying to get sweet now. Mask uncovered, nigga. Niggas get exposed on this shit.
No.
No, I'm not gonna do that.
No. You don't want to. No,
Fuck 'em.
but where we at today, right? It's like, okay.
Yes, nigga. What
So,
the fuck we got these shirts on for, nigga? Fuck the niggas.
It's two things that I think
Put a
that
champion
people
hoodie
wanna
on,
know is at what stage and age did that actually transpire?
The first domestic violence, yeah, because it was more than one. The first, 2001, 2002. Then I sent him to jail. He had to go. You, your mama, everybody else can go with you. And that's how I did it. His mama went to jail too. She was down with it. So, and then the second one, he cut, it wasn't a relationship, it was, he just couldn't accept no.
What was your
Not
age,
you.
though?
My age was, I'm gonna be 50 on the 29th, so my age was, what, 42, 40, 43,
more
48?
recent.
Yeah, this is something recently.
Because, only reason why I throw that out, I had a conversation with a young lady earlier who was supposed to be here. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it here, but she was in a relationship at the age of 15. And, you know, just the different dynamics of, okay, when you're younger, she was with an older guy. I believe he was 19. So, manipulated her, took advantage of her, what have you. But so to hear the difference, that's why kind of what she was here to kind of, because I was bouncing that back and forth of, okay, you're 15, somebody 19, they're gonna take advantage of you, they're gonna probably guide you and show you. So somebody that's at a older age, at 40 plus, was it, there's never a blame. What did you see or what
I see
did
the
you
red
recognize?
flags. I didn't, it was, oh, you with him, oh, yeah, that's your
If you don't
cousin.
mind me asking this
You
question,
ask me
this is
everything,
deep, man.
anything
I
on
mean,
the
this is
book.
tough. This is
You
tough.
are, oh, that's your cousin? Oh, no, y'all fucking. Oh, it's my girl cousin. Oh, no, y'all fucking. Okay, well, I don't want if my girl cousin died. Oh, you can't go to the funeral, what, you wanna be all around some niggas? Listen, so now it's like, my children was, my son was a teenager, and, I just didn't, you know, when somebody is going down, they feel like they want to take you with them. I wasn't going down. He wasn't pulling me down with you. I didn't give a fuck. I wasn't going down. So what he did when we was riding in my car, and I said I didn't want to be with you, and on Valentine's Day, and he was driving, and he socked me and broke all this.
That was the first.
That was the first time. Look, when I say he broke this right here, when I say the clavicle, all this was broke, yeah, it was done. And this happened in Dorchester, and I lived in Newton, and the Newton and the Brookline police was looking for him. That's how pissed they was. It was heated. So then it was like, all right, I don't want to be with you. So after he did that, you know what he did? He drove off of my car for a whole week, put me in my bed, and left my children to find me with a major concussion, major traumatic brain injury. I was fucked up.
Who this nigga?
I said, yeah, he did, but then after it was like, I don't want to be with you.
It's a lot of them.
That's the problem. It's a lot of them.
Nigga, but this we
It
talking
was
about one
a
of
right
them.
of light. I was like, okay, I don't want to be with you. I can't stand you. There's nothing you can do to make me want to be with you. He could not stand that. He hated that. Like, oh, come by my house, the GPS on his, oh, you don't want to be with me? What, are you crazy? Okay, so the last thing, I was in on, this is November.
I'm sorry, before you go to the
Yeah.
last thing.
I had been in jail 3 or
The
4
one
times.
question that I'm pretty sure that everybody's that's watching Masking Cover Podcast, subscribe, like the channel, real quick is, that happens the first time. How was there a second time?
Because the second time, my mom was so.
No, how
It was there the second time? What
how
you
do we
mean?
even get to it? If that happens the first time, he left you in the bed for your kids to find you that way. What could he have done or said to get back into your good graces? What was in your heart to forgive somebody to do that to
I
you?
went to Whittier Street and got help. I went and did anger management and this, that, and other, and showing me a certificate. So I'm like, oh, you know what? Maybe this man really loves me. And once again, I couldn't see who I was. It was days when I didn't even look in the mirror at myself. And that's how it got to be, let me give him another chance, because he was showing me that it was a one-time thing. That was I'm sorry, let me go and get help, blah, blah, blah. And like I'm gonna say it, he did everything right. He did everything right, but he was trying to control me, and I can't be controlled. I just can't be.
Manipulated.
So,
But that's why I interjected, because that was the point of, I know a lot of people are thinking, people know that, okay, you didn't just take them back, you didn't just wake up one day and say, hey, you know what, this guy hit me. So, the things of, okay, he started doing what was right. Did he start bringing you flowers? Did he buy you a car? Did he
nah,
bring
he
you food?
was
In other
he
words,
would drop off stuff. He would put stuff like money in my mailbox, send me. But like I said, he had the GPS on. The judge told him, you have 18 months, do not have any contact. He could not do it. He could not do it. He took his GPS on and put it on his cat. He couldn't do it. So so then, as our relationship was going on, it became fight or flight. So every time he wanted to, yeah, okay, let's do this. You think you're gonna put your hands on me?
Yeah.
And then it was like, okay, he lives in Boston, he got his own place. Let me get my lady over here. And that's what he. Then when it seemed like he was jealous of my children, he was like, fuck them little niggas. That was it.
Yeah.
And then, okay, well, let me tell you the real breaker. He seen me on the street, this is after 2 years of me not dealing with him. He seen me walking on Columbia Road. And I don't know how he seen me. And he was like, you want me to give you a ride? Me not thinking, I'm like, yeah, let me step, me being David and that being Goliath, let me step out. Let me show him. I had to stab. He said, you know what, bitch, when I got in, locked the door, he said, I'm gonna fuck you up and kill you this time. And I'm gonna gouge your eyes out and put you up in Franklin Park where the hose is buried. I was like, and I'm talking to him as I talk to you guys. And I'm like, why would you want to do that to me? I never did nothing to you. He was like, because you think them niggas, I said, I got sons, why would you want to do? And you think them niggas is something. Okay, well, I'm still talking in this tone. Then he said their names. And that's when he had some scissors. He was driving his girlfriend's car. She had some little scissors. And I went whack, whack, whack. While he was driving, I'm not dying. And I pulled the wheel, and you know they took me to jail. I went to jail. That's the whole, and I got a felony for that.
But before we end this, because we're ending it soon, when we flip the script and you Lila Ali motherfuckers, like you said you flipped it on, you was abusive yourself.
Yeah.
Was it from all the trauma?
It was from all the trauma. It was from my daddy issues. It was from, if you don't give a, it was a, oh, if you don't give a fuck about me, then it's me or you. And then I got tough.
I got you.
It was like, okay, bitch, is this how you want to do it? Because if this is how you want to do it, I'm not going to be the only one on black eye. I'm not going to be the only one to listen to whack. Here you go. Then he was like,
oh, this is the same dude you got abusive with?
yeah.
Ooh, this is man part 2 next week. Hold on.
And that made him fall in love even more. He said, I love you even more because you're feisty. Feisty, I'm your ass.
One thing we do want to do, we want to give,
Woo!
we have a couple of people in the audience. Do anybody have a question? Or
Next
make a
week, next
comment?
week.
I know that some people want to make a comment.
I mean, I have a quick question. I mean, it's really concerning that while this was going on, he said that his mother was involved.
She was her husband abused her. I mean, would hook her in a park with dog chains. So she had her children. She had all boys. She was down for whatever they did, hooking on somebody, and they're like, "Oh, how could you mess with him? He's a woman beater." Oh, he never did what? Huh?
I think I have more of a statement type question. Like, do you think it was the smartest thing to tell somebody you know is super abusive that you don't have nothing about them, you don't want to be with them? Why don't you just leave? Then I think like in that situation, because then he hit you right after that. So wouldn't you just try to leave the dude on the road instead of trying to like
Changed everything, but in like I said, live in another city.
Like, if you know somebody's super abusive, why don't you just leave them instead of telling them?
I did that.
Can't leave somebody's name. You seen that movie with J-Lo?
He had
Enough.
to.
Enough.
Instead of announcing, I can't stand you, I don't want to be around you. Instead of putting it that way, if you know somebody, he's already, prior to that, you had already put his hands on.
And I said, you know, this is not working out for us. But when you're talking to somebody that has like a mental health issue, dealing with substance abuse, and you already, it's not for me to tell you, the judge told you, leave her alone. But we're gonna give you 2.5. And you got a bracelet and you still couldn't do it. That's on you.
Right.
I have nothing to do with that.
Yeah. What's his name again?
And I woke up, and on November 29th,
I think also what I'm saying is like, why not just change the number?
But you know what?
These motherfuckers, because these motherfuckers are professionals. It's easy. It's not that easy.
Not that easy.
Now we're obsessed.
if you,
They put plans together.
Oh man, this dude's talking
when,
about.
when,
Put the fireball with it.
on November 29th, 2019, after not having nothing to do with this man for 2.5 years, he had broke into my house and was standing over me while I was asleep in my bedroom, getting high. I woke up to this man
That's crazy.
touching my leg, getting high, in my bed, my
Getting high,
cell.
smoking a crack?
Yes,
That's crazy.
yes,
That's
listen,
already using up.
listen, he had broke in, but see, I had the cameras on the outside, and I kept saying, let me just be calm with him, because my son was sleeping. I knew when my son woke up,
Sorry, when did you start doing drugs?
what he started doing, he was doing drugs the whole time, and I didn't know. That's the whole thing. I didn't have a clue.
It's
And then when I found out, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I can't fuck with you. Because then it was like, let me get her addicted. Let me see if I can get her on it so she can go down with me. So I can be walking on that side with him. Fuck you.
Right.
Not in this lifetime, not in the next.
Jesus. So salute to you. Like you're a survivor, a true survivor. Like, fuck everything else.
One thing I definitely want to spit out was thank y'all for spitting your truth. You know what I'm saying, and that's important.
Not easy.
And there's no way in the world we're answering all the questions. Well, they're not answering all the questions. We're just bringing something to the forefront. This is just the beginning. We're going to continue to delve into topics like this and try to even expound more, because I know there's a lot of questions that I definitely have. There's a lot, but not to say that they are the people that have the answers, but to show you two dynamics of what happens when it's too late and when there's a chance to get out. So there's somebody that's going through this now. We would love to see them, prosper, survive, and this is a domestic violence survivor. So, as always, did you want to add something?
Yeah, just real quick, can she just tell the people, how did you get out of that situation when you were sleeping and he was scared?
I whooped his ass terribly. First, because I'm smart, I called the police and had them listen, and I had my phone taping, and I whooped that motherfuckers. And when I said I whooped his ass, he got.
Chairs with the.
Because of the stuff that he already did in that apartment, I kept the knife. I whooped his ass. If I kept saying, if my son wakes up, I'm gonna have to kill him, because my son's kids hate him. If my youngest woke up who was 6'3", I would have had to kill him.
Right.
So I had to get him out. And then even after I got him out, after I put his ass and pushed him down the stairs and everything, he still yelled outside, "Bitch, I love you."
Oh man.
Cycle.
That nigga's crazy. What's his name again?
Yeah. Listen, we all know, like, you know, this is deep, man. But
Woo.
I'll come
also,
back.
yeah,
please come back with him.
Need you guys to, yeah.
I want to say
You better not come back.
one
Definitely.
thing too. I was just building about, like she was saying, the mothers. I didn't get to really finish about that too. Like the mothers gotta stop. If y'all have sons out here, y'all gotta stop protecting them. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta stop. Like if your son's out here doing that, y'all can't protect them, and that's what happened in my sister's situation. His mother was protecting him, you know, and 2 weeks before my sister passed, well, a month before my sister passed, the mother talked my sister into go to get him back and recant her statement from what she did, and the mother talked him into that. So just as mothers, you know, y'all gotta be more onto your sons. You know what I'm saying? Like if your son's out here, you know, hitting a female, don't protect them. You gotta really, like, you know, give them some help or
And
show them the way.
friends of the niggas, like, we gotta stop, man, putting friendship, but like, that's not acceptable, man. Your man beating the fuck out of his girl every day, and you laughing with the nigga, and
Not my
that's
man.
my man. Like, that can't be accepted either. Like, it's a whole puzzle to this shit, man. It's all of us can help, man. It's all of us play a part.
As the skinners get frowned upon, why can't a woman abuse again?
Why is that cool? Like, why is your man cool because he beat the shit out of his girl? Why is he cool?
Because it goes back to repeating the cycles, But I'm saying, if my cycle, when I repeat with my children, my two sons, they put their hands on their girlfriends, and I tell these girls this: if my son does anything to make you feel, if he puts his hand on you, put him in jail, check him, and if you can't check him, you put his ass in jail.
But
It's not
We need
on.
more mothers like
you
that.
one of the few who can stop the cycle. A lot of them, like you said, your mother, their mother, they let it keep going. Like,
But
we
for
need
mothers
more
listening,
like you.
We need mothers listen to that. We need more mothers like that. I'm sure it's out there. We need more mothers like that.
But,
Own it like that. You know.
We're gonna have a part 2 to most of the conversation we have on Unmasked, Masked, Uncovered. There's gonna be a part 2 because we're going in depth with all of this shit. But tonight, we run out of time. We're gonna sign off tonight. Subscribe, like, hit us up, man. We the new thing coming up.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's go ahead on.
Support
Man.
us.
We're gonna finish off. We're gonna keep playing a few more minutes of my man's song. Yo, go to Spotify, all those channels, man. We know it's hard for y'all to do after this point, but dog, stay in tune, man.
First day out, I'ma follow you up with friends, don't know if I'll be alive.
Love y'all. Stay in tune, man.
So here was 15, Rico 15. I feel like the devil tricked me to go against me. 80 used to be the cap for blacks, now it's 60. I feel 30 left, I hope my niggas miss me.
Also, we got the Jay Boston podcast about his music.
Oh, he back next.
We gon' be holding Dre on the dance floor.
Oh, yeah, shout out P. He with you next time. Shout him out.
You know what the dance floor is.
Shout out to my dog, P3. Always hold me down, man. Always, man. Definitely, man. Yo, we love y'all, man. Stay tuned,
Keep
man.
and Shirley together, nigga. Come on, nigga.
He's my soulmate.
Come on, we was in
It's
Shirley.
my dog. It's my dog.